Hi guys, Cris Cyborg MMA here, and today we're back with another PFL predictions video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for PFL super fights, Ngannou versus Ferreira. Now for the first time ever, I might actually watch a PFL card instead of a UFC card this weekend because PFL have got a better card than that stupid fight night, Pereira versus Hernandez. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it, seeing Ngannou back in MMA again. But before I jump into my picks, make sure if you guys enjoy this type of content, you go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So there's only actually 9 fights on this card, so quite a short card. But we start things off with the first matchup of Tariq Ismail versus Taha Bendaoud. Probably butchered that name, I always do. But Tariq Ismail, 8-1. Looks alright, 34 years of age. 7 wins by decision, so this guy's allergic to finishes, a bit like Bilal Muhammad, But he's got one win by KO as well. But yeah, he won on PFL Main 1 against Al Daja. I mean, if he missed weight in that fight, but yeah, his only loss is to Bernardo Sapage, who we've seen in the UFC get absolutely knocked out, but it's not a bad loss. He's in the UFC. He's won every fight since that, so he looks a decent fighter, to be fair. Whereas his opponent Taha Bendaoud, he's only had 3 fights professionally, 3-0, so not as many fights as his opponent. All 3 wins. He's won twice by decision in UAE Warriors and got 1 triangle choke. So there's not much to see about this guy, so I don't really know much about him, but he looks alright, undefeated as well, so could come in here and win. But I'm going to go with Ismail. I mean, he's proved himself in PFL as well, so I think Ismail is going to cruise into a decision in this fight. Now, moving up the card too, Ibragimov, I don't know if the G is silent or not, versus Nacho Campos. Now, Ibragimov, 7-0. Representing England, but he's from Dagestan. I mean, his name sounds like he's from Dagestan, to be fair, with the V at the end. He looks pretty good, to be fair. He's only 1 win by decision. Rest have been finishes, 3 KOs, 3 submissions as well. He looks pretty good. I mean, he's literally all of his last 4 fights he's won by finish. 2 of them in round number 1 as well. I mean, what else can I say about Ibragimov? He looks pretty good. Only 20 years of age as well. What a prospect he is. He's against Nacho Campos, who, to be fair to him, 5-0 as well, undefeated. Looks a good prospect as well. He's got a lot of finishes also. 1, 2, 3 KOs, 1 submission. So they probably don't know about the level of competition he's faced compared to Ibragimov. I mean, Nacho's Campos' last fight was against a guy who was 0-0 record. So I feel like I'm going to go with Ibragimov here. I have to back the Englishman to get this job done. And I reckon he's going to get the finish. And I reckon he gets the KO in round number 2. Now, moving up the card too. Makasharip Zaynukov versus Dedrick Sanders. Now, Zaynukov, 15-4. Another challenging name to pronounce, I've got to say. He looks pretty decent, to be fair. He's on a 4-fight winning streak at the minute. He's got a lot of wins by decision, but he's got the potential to finish people as well. Not too many losses on his record either. 15 wins, it's quite impressive as well. His opponent, Derek Sanders, 9-4. So he's 34 years of age. I mean, he's had a few wins, few losses here and there. Just beat Sergio Cosio by round 1 KO in the PFL 7. So I think I watched that, to be fair. He looked alright. So I mean, he's decent. He lost to Jonathan Pearce back in the day and Terence McKinney as well. So he's fought some high-level opponents. But I do think that Zaynukov is going to be the better fighter here. The Russian man, he's got a more impressive record, really, some of his wins and stuff. So I think Zaynukov's going to get the job done. And I reckon he gets the decision. Now, moving up the card too. Raufeon Stots versus Marcos Breno. Now, this should be a fun fight, to be fair. Stots, 20-2, 35 years of age. Only 2 losses, 1 to Patchy Mix, who is a pretty good fighter, and 1 to Marab Dvalishvili back in 2017, so in some random promotion. So he's not lost to. He's only lost to good opponents, really. He's got some pretty good wins as well on his record. He's beat Danny Sabatello twice. He had the belt, I think, in Bellator. So Stots is a pretty good fighter, to be fair. I mean, Yeah, his last win was in 2023 by decision. I mean, he's got a lot of decision wins, but he's got a few finishes as well. His opponent, Marcos Breno, very impressive record as well. To be fair, 15-3, 26 years of age, so he's the younger fighter, but he's coming off a loss to Danny Sabatello. So really, if you're doing MMA math here, Stots wins because he's got 2 wins over Danny Sabatello. This guy has lost, but yeah, he's got some good wins as well. To be fair, he lost to Taylor Lapulus, but then apart from that, quite a lot of wins. So he's got a lot of KO wins as well. So it should be a fun fight this. But I'm going to go Stots to get this done. I think he's just got a really impressive record. He's only lost twice in his career as well. Even though he's getting on a bit, I still think he's at a high level. And I think Stots is going to get the job done by decision. Now, moving up the card to AJ McKee Jr. versus Paul Hughes. Now, this is a really good matchup that I'm looking forward to be fair. Probably one, like, apart from Ngannou, this is probably the one I'm looking forward to most on the card. I mean, AJ McKee Jr. 22-1, very impressive record. Only lost his decision loss to Patricio Pitbull in their rematch. So I mean, apart from that, he's got a very impressive record. I mean, he's on a 4-fight winning streak, just coming off a submission win against Clay Collard. I mean, he's got a very impressive record. I mean, 8 wins by submission, 8 wins by decision, 6 wins by KO. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, Paul Hughes as well on the other hand, he's got a great record as well. 12-1 as a professional. He's on a 6 fight winning streak at the minute. Lots of wins in Cage Warriors. Lost a split decision to Jordan Vucenic, then beat him again when he's in his title defense. Beat Morgan Charrier. So he's beat UFC level opponents. To be fair, has Paul Hughes, and he looks pretty good. Won in his first fight in Bellator as well. So a very close matchup. This could go either way. Honestly, it's probably the hardest one to pick, I've got to say. But I think I'm going to go AJ McKee Jr. I mean, he's had 22 wins, man. It's hard to knock him, really. Only 1 loss as well. So, yeah, I think AJ McKee Jr. is going to get this done. It's going to be a really good fight. And I'm going to say he's going to get it done by decision. So, moving up the card to Husein Kadimagomaev versus Zafar Mohsen. Probably butchered both of them names, let's be real. But Mohsen, 13-4, 26 years of age. He's he's fought in some different promotions. He's fought with quite a lot of guys I've seen on Octagon before, a lot of German guys. He's coming off a win against some Kyrgyzstani dudes by guillotine. He won a few before that. He got quite a few finishes. He's got quite a few KOs. His opponent, Husein Kadimagomaev, 11-1, very good record. His only loss coming back in 2021, but he's beat Jarno Aarons, who was in the UFC as well. He's got some decent wins, to be fair. He's got quite a few submission wins, a few KO wins as well. So he looks a pretty good fighter. So could be a fun matchup, this one. I'm not sure on who either of the guys are, to be honest, but I will be going with Kadimagomaev to get this job done. I mean, I feel like he's just got the more impressive record, really. Only 1 loss in his career. Mohsen 13-4, not the best, really. So I think that Kadimagomaev is going to get the job done by KO in round number 1. Now, moving up the card too. A good fight here. Johnny Eblen versus Fabian Edwrads for the belt. I think this is Johnny Eblen defending his belt. I mean, Johnny Eblen, what can you say? He's pretty good. I mean, he's undefeated. Pretty sure 15-0. Already beat Fabian Edwrads by KO as well. Round number 3. Then he won a split decision against Ibragimov. I don't think he looked that great in that fight, but he still got the job done. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, he's got a lot of decision wins, but he's also shown he can finish like he did against Edwards. So Johnny Eblen, pretty good champion, can't lie. Fabian Edwards, he's a good fighter as well, to be fair. 13-3. I mean, his last loss was against Eblen, but he came back with a win against Jeffrey. I mean, he's beat a few of the same guys that Eblen's beat as well. So I can't really see it going any other way than the same ways it went last time. I think Eblen is going to get the job done here, but I do think Fabian Edwards will look better in this fight than he did in the first one, so I'm going to go with Eblen to get this job done by decision. Now, moving up to the co-main event. We've smashed through this card, only a short little one. We've got Cris Cyborg versus Larissa Pacheco. Now, should be a fun one, this one. Don't usually look forward to women's fights that often, but you know what? I'm looking forward to this one. Cyborg, 27-2. I mean, 39 years of age. She's getting on a bit now, but she's still on a very long win streak at the minute. Her last loss was to Amanda Nunes back in the UFC in 2018, but when she came to Bellator. She had the belt. She's many different title defenses, done some boxing as well. I think she had 5 title defenses in Bellator. Now she's fighting against Pacheco, who is actually a very dangerous fighter. You know, she's the only person to beat Kayla Harrison, I think, like that, and where she lost to her twice, but then she did manage to beat her. And then since then, she's on a massive winning streak as well. So both these women are very exciting to watch. You know, I mean, she's on a 10 win streak, so many KOs, 11 wins by KO. So I'm not sure on this one. You know, I feel like it could go either way. I mean, Cyborg's got the experience in that 39. Pacheco is slightly younger and stuff, but she's more dangerous. So I think I'm going to put my money on Pacheco here. I feel like she could get this done. And you know what? I'm going to say she gets the KO in round number 3. Now, moving up the card too. Francis Ngannou versus Renan Ferreira. Now, Francis Ngannou, he's back. Finally. I mean, we've watched him do some boxing. It's not what you like to see, really, him get knocked out, but he's back, and his opponent, there's not much to say about Francis Ngannou. We all know how good he is. Don't really need to explain him. But Renan Ferreira, 13-3. I mean, he beat Ryan Bader back in February to get to this. I remember watching that. That's how he got to this fight here. So, I mean, he's pretty good, Renan Ferreira. I mean, I can't really say much about that. I mean, last loss was to Ante Delige or something. But since then, beat a few good guys, Maurice Green, Denis Goltsov, Ryan Bader. So he looks pretty good, 34 years of age. So I mean, it could. I mean, to be fair, I looked at him next to Francis. He looks absolutely massive, but I think Francis Ngannou is going to walk him down pretty easily. I can't see anything else other than a Francis Ngannou KO in round number 1. So there are my picks for PFL Super Fights. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that is all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, remember you leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.